What's going on, guys? MJ300 here, and welcome to a brand new episode of our Arsenal Road to Glory series. So we are in year number 3 of this 5-year career mode, almost up to the end of August now. And so in this video, we'll be going through the August transfer deadline day. I'm going to try and get through a good portion of the season here, getting through all of September and a little bit of October. But before we do that, I'll just give you a quick recap of where we are at the moment. So we started our Premier League campaign with a solid 3 wins out of 3 with victories over West Ham, Manchester City and Sheffield United. We were also successful in the UEFA Super Cup, defeating last year's Europa League champions Paris Saint-Germain 1-0. And also we kicked off our Carabao Cup campaign, getting through that in the thinnest of margins, a 1-1 draw against Palace, but winning 4-3 on penalties. So as I mentioned, we'll be getting through a good part of September and October in this video. So just have a quick look at the kind of fixtures we're going up against here. So some Premier League games there, kick off of our Champions League campaign. And there's October as well. So it looks like already our group in the Champions League is much easier than it was last season, if you remember what that group looked like. And before we jump into the games, just a quick recap of the transfer business that we have done so far in this window. So the big signing there was Jovic'S coming to Arsenal from Real Madrid for £63 million. He's replaced Alex Lacazette, who has gone to Lazio for £30 million. So we were toying between whether we would sell Lacazette or Aubameyang because they were both into their 30s. I've decided to keep Aubameyang because he is our captain, even though he is 32. This is probably going to be his last season for us, but one more year of Aubameyang and Jovic'S there, and then we'll look to move Martinelli up top as the backup to Jovic'S moving forward. We've strengthened our central midfield by adding Nico Barella there. He has replaced Guendouzi, who's gone out on a season-long loan. And we also added another backup goalkeeper in Perrin from Juventus there for 23.5. He was much an improvement over Martinez, who we had previously. Okay, so here we go. Here's the first game of this video and our last game in August, a home tie in the Premier League against Stoke. So we're going to jump into this here, going with our first team as always. And hopefully we should be able to get a result here. Look at that. They've had 3 losses on the bounce so far. And now it's 4. Brandt and Saka, both on the score sheets for Arsenal. And we have a comfortable 2-0 win. Okay, so here we are now. We're up to the transfer deadline day. I don't necessarily expect us to be making too many moves. We've brought in our 3 signings for the summer. So the only way we'll be doing anything is if we get offers for any of our players and we need to replace them. But other than that, our big business, as you can see there, already done. 135 million spent. But we'll go through this here. And at the end, I will show you the top deals in the Premier League and the top deals from around the rest of Europe as well. Okay, so we've had a transfer offer here in for Aubameyang from Atletico Madrid for 37.3 million. As I mentioned, I really don't want to sell him. I want to use him for one more season before we look to move on from him, because he is still 86 overall, still has a very good rating, even at 32 years old. It says there we could maybe get upwards of 65 million. So you know what? If we can get 65 million, I will replace him, because that money is just too good to turn down for a 32-year-old. But other than that, I'm really not going to be looking to sell him for anything less than an astronomical amount of money. Okay, so here we are, 1 hour left, and even though I've simulated like 7 hours, we still haven't heard from Atletico Madrid, which is a little bit surprising because normally at transfer deadline day, everything is fast forwarded, but there we go. They're obviously not going to be buying him, so we will simulate through here now and we'll go with the players we've got for the rest of the season. But just before we do that, I figured we would show you the top deals of the window. You can already see there, Kai Havertz is the biggest one, £83.2 million. He's left Leverkusen and gone to Real Madrid, so Real Madrid have their Galactico signing for the season. Marquinhos has gone to Dortmund for £80 million. That's an awful lot of money. I think that's a world record for a centre-back, if I'm not mistaken. Partey there has left Atletico Madrid and gone to Liverpool for £72 million. Jovic obviously was Arsenal's big signing. Odegaard, a player that we were linked with a couple of seasons ago, he's actually now gone to Manchester United for £58 million. Diaz has gone to Paris Saint-Germain, so that's Marquinhos' replacement. Romagnoli has now moved on from Spurs for £56 million. He's gone to Real Madrid. Cucurella's gone to Burnley, spending a big money, £51 million, bringing the guy from Barcelona, and then Barella there as well. Hummels to Leipzig. Haller has gone to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have been very busy. 3 big signings for them there, and Rafinha there to Inter Milan for 45 million. So those are the big signings in Europe. Let's have a quick look now and see if there's any other big deals that we've missed from around the Premier League. So it looks like Leicester might have been quite busy. They bought in Vlasic, Orban and Iago for a total of £70 million. Sonucu has gone out as long as Casco and Benkovic. Liverpool big spenders, almost 120. We knew they'd bought Partey. They've also added Dupont and Dumfries. Lallana has left them. City haven't really added anyone by the looks of it. Manchester United, obviously we saw Odegaard. He's also added Felipe Anderson as well. And there's the big spendings there by Spurs. They've used the Romagnoli money to strengthen their squad. They've brought in Shaw, they've brought in Angelino. So is that 2 left backs? I think that is. That's a bit strange. And Sarr, the winger as well, and Brunoa. And it looks like Chelsea have had quite a quiet window. Just the one addition, Roussillon there for £24.1 million. So that was it on the Premier League dealings, and we're now going to simulate through here the final hour of transfer deadline day. We had a lot of notices in there. We heard back from Aubameyang. No, we haven't. That was too late. We've got a youth report. We had a transfer offer there for Torreira right at the deadline, but for Manchester City, we were never going to accept that anyway. We did hear back from Atletico Madrid. There you go, confirmation there that they considered what we were asking was too high. Okay, so just quickly show you an update on our youth squad here. We have still a few players in the system, all with very good potentials here. Yannick Ferreira there is a 90 to a 94 central midfielder. Castle there, 87. Another 94 of a cam. A 91 of left midfield. Left winger of 88 and striker 87. So what I'll look to do is I'll set up the scouting networks again and do another 6 months. And I'll show you throughout the season how the scouts get on, see if we unearth any more gems. Okay, so there you go. 2 scouting networks set up, one in England for 6 months and this time in Spain for 6 months. So we'll see what they find. Okay, so it's after the transfer window has ended, but we've just had an interesting offer in here from Leicester for Emile Smith-Rowe for £21.4 million. So that's quite a lot of money for someone who is only our third choice, number 10. But for this moment in time, we're going to reject it. But something just to keep in mind, maybe he can be someone we look to move on and get a bit of money for in the January transfer window. Okay, so now the transfer deadline is over. There is one thing that we do need to address here, and it was something I was looking through before at the players. When you look at their morale system, you can kind of see what makes them happy and unhappy. So we've got a few players who are unhappy at the moment, mainly through playtime, but there's also a lot of people who are unhappy with their contract. So you can see the likes of Nketiah, Nelson, Willock, Lamar, Martinelli, Pepe, Smith-Rowe, Neves, nearly everyone is unhappy with their contract. And the reason for that will be because they've grown in overalls and therefore they're not getting paid what they should be getting paid now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a few of these contracts now. Obviously I'll edit it out, but improve some contracts, and I'll show you some summaries at the end to try and improve these players' morale. Okay, so there we go. I have gone through all of the contracts. That took a lot longer than I expected. But as you can see now, it has had the desired effect. We've only got a few players that are still unhappy now, being Aubameyang and Klosterman and Nketiah there. His contract's still down because actually I didn't offer him enough money. So I'll have to come back and do his in a couple of weeks. But other than that, everyone else is signed and everyone else is happy. You can see down the bottom here, a lot more people are actually in the green than they were before, which is always good because if you get that happy morale, you do get a boost in their stats. So it is important. But anyway, we move back now to Premier League action, and we have an away tie here against Watford. So going to send the team out here, see what they can do. Hopefully we can maintain our 100% start to the season. And we don't. We actually only draw 1-0. Delafeu actually puts Watford in front. But Lamar gets the equaliser on the hour mark. And we draw 1-1. So there might have been a bit of disappointment in the Premier League there. But not to worry. We are now moving on to our Champions League campaign. And if you recall, Arsenal are the defending champions of this competition. And therefore, we really want to have another deep run and even see if we can retain our trophy. The good news is that starting off, our group is much easier than it was last year. Although still a couple of tough teams in there. But if you remember last year, we had CSKA Moscow, we had Porto, and we had Barcelona. This year, Dinamo Zagreb, Ajax, and Lyon. So again, Lyon and Ajax, especially not that easier teams, but I would still say collectively easier opposition than Porto and Barcelona, definitely. And Zagreb, I would say, is an easier tie than CSKA Moscow. But that all being said, we have to kick off the campaign in a positive manner with 3 points. So we're going back to our strongest team. And now, actually, just while I think about it, we didn't touch on this in the last video, and I should have done it at the start of this video, and I apologise. We have appointed a new club captain. Well, co-captain, should I say. Aubameyang is still our club captain, but as he's not first choice, he's not going to be on the pitch every game, and therefore we need a captain to lead that team out onto the pitch, and I've gone with Hector Bellerin. Reason being, he's one of the longest serving members of the club, you know, grown up through the ranks here at Arsenal, has always said that he would love to be captain one day, so he wears the armband now when Aubameyang isn't playing, but obviously if Aubameyang ever is in the team, he does take the armband back. So that being said, we'll now jump into here, this first match of the campaign up against Zagreb, and I would hope that we have more than enough to beat them. And we do. We win 2-0. Saka and Lamar both on the score sheet, and we kick off our Champions League campaign with 3 points. Right, so here we go now. We are back to the Premier League and a tough tie here up against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You can see there they're not in the top 6, so they haven't obviously had the strongest start to the season. We'll just see where they're sitting. Oh, okay, they're only sitting 1 point out in 7th. They've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. So definitely not a bad start. It's actually been quite a tight. It's actually quite tight at the top of the Premier League. Look at that. There is 3 points between 1st and 8th. So obviously a lot of teams have had good starts to the season, which probably means conversely that quite a few teams have had bad starts to the season. And there you go. Yes, you can see down the bottom there, Stoke, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace and Wolves all looking for their first wins. And Southampton and Fulham have both each only got 1 sole win. So we'll jump into this game here up against Chelsea, continuing to go with our strongest possible team. Obviously Neves is still out with that injury, so Barella continues in midfield, partnering Ceballos. So we'll jump into this. We'll have a quick look and see what the Chelsea's team is looking like, and hopefully we can get ourselves another 3 points. Okay, so this is the Chelsea team we're going up against today. Kepa is still there and continues in goal. Tomori and Upamecano, the central defence. Zappacosta and Roussillon that we saw as the fullbacks. Kante, Bakayoko and Melendo in the central midfield. And then Martinez is obviously still there. And then Mount and Pulisic up top. So that's the team we're going up against. Let's jump into this game right now and see if we can get ourselves another win. Into Ceballos. Back to Brandt. Into Jovic. Can he turn him? He can. He hits one. Oh, it's just wide. Jovic obviously still looking for his first goal for Arsenal. But he wasn't far away there. Oh, Barella's won it well there. And Pepe now. Can he get him behind? He can. The cross comes in towards Saka. Oh, it's well saved by the keeper. And the rebound falls kindly to him. Here is Brandt. Pepe. Jovic. It's a good turn of pace. Hits one. And Kepa down to it. And now here go Arsenal. With Saka and Brandt. Looking for the run out wide of Pepe. He'll go inside to Barella. He'll go to Jovic. Can he hit one? He can. And the keeper. Kepa is really keeping him in it. And more importantly, is stopping Jovic from getting that first goal. It's 3 really good chances. It's gone back out to Pepe. And Kimpembe, he'll hit one. And it's fallen to Brandt. And Kepa again. What a game he is having. It's Barella. Oh, he's been taken out there, surely. Are you joking, referee? Ceballos out wide to Saka. Saka looking for the options. Into Brandt. Into Tierney. Onto the edge. Barella. And it's blocked. It's all Arsenal in this first half. And Jovic and Brandt. There's some space here to run into. Brandt. Oh, they fouled Pepe off the ball, surely. Oh, and keeper's giving it straight to Jovic. Oh, and after his first half heroics there, Pepe almost undid all the work. Passing it straight to Jovic, but I just wasn't expecting it at all. And it meant Kepa was out well to save, and we go in at the break 0-0. It's been an absolutely dominating first half from Arsenal. The number of shots we had is ridiculous, but Kepa's done really well in the Chelsea goal to keep it level going in at the break. It's a big 45 minutes coming up. We need to find a breakthrough. Here is Barella. It's Fan Jovic. Back to Barella. Into Brandt. And back to Barella one more time. Is this the moment? Oh, Kepa again. Here is Brandt now. And Jovic. It's gone out wide to Pepe. Pepe going to get the cross in. It's back post to Saka. And it's wide. How many more chances are we going to get? What a cross that is. Pepe. Into Brandt. Jovic from his back to goal. Looks for Barella. Barella back to Jovic. And there's the moment for Arsenal. And for Luka Jovic. His first goal for Arsenal. And it is the breakthrough in this game. Arsenal finally lead. Kepa is finally beaten. And the Gooners in the stand rejoice. Really good build-up play there between Jovic and Barella. And from 12 yards out, Kepa had no chance. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Here's Barella. Into Brandt. Into Jovic. He turns. Shoots, but it's straight at Kepa. And there we go. There is the full-time whistle. It's just the 1 goal in the end that settles it. And Chelsea, they held on to the ball a lot more in that second half. We had nowhere near as many chances. But they didn't do anything with it. They were just passing it around in midfield. Never threatened Leno. I don't think he really had to make a save of note. And there's the man there who made the difference today with his first goal for Arsenal. Plenty of attempts. Could have maybe even had a hat-trick. But I'm sure he'll take his debut goal. And 3 more points for Arsenal. Okay, so here we go now. We've got some more action in the Carabao Cup. Our third round tie sees us visiting Loftus Road and Queen's Park Rangers. So we're going to go with this team here again, rotating around as we always do in the Carabao Cup, giving some chance to our youngsters. So we'll go with Perrin in goal, Gaia, Ake, Holding, Kosterman at the back, Jovic'S in the middle, Trincao, Smith Rowe, Nelson, and Nketiah up top. Hopefully we fare a little bit better than last time where we needed penalties to get us through to the next round. And will they get the job done? And we do. We win 1-0. Just the sole goal. Once again, it's the old famous 1-0 to the Arsenal. And Willock gets the goal. So next up, we have Everton here in the Premier League. So a quick look at where they're doing. They're sitting in mid-table. They've won 3 and lost 3 of their 6. So a very balanced start to the season for them. We'll jump into this here, simulate through it, and hopefully the guys can get the job done. I mean, I would expect to win at home, and we do. We win 2-1. Ake and Trincao on the score sheet. A nervous last few minutes as Niasse scored for Everton 7 minutes from time, but we hold on for a win, and we continue our unbeaten start in the Premier League. Okay, so here we are now back to the Champions League and match day number 2. With a home tie here against Lyon. You can see that Lyon and Ajax drew their first game, so another win here would put us in a really good position after 2 games. Switching back to our strongest possible team, Barella still gets to start, even though Neves is back from injury now. He's not full fitness, so we've got him on the bench. He might get a few minutes, so we'll simulate through this here. Come on, boys, can we get the job done here at the Emirates? And we can. We win 3-1. Pepe, Ceballos, and Bellerin all with the goals. Depay with a goal for them, but the result was never in doubt. 3-1 to Arsenal. Good start. 2 wins from 2. Okay, I'm returning to Premier League action now with a very tough away trip to Leicester. We're obviously going to go back to our strongest possible team for this. Never an easy place to go to King Power Stadium. Can we get ourselves a result there? We can. Julian Brandt gets the double. 8 minutes from time, he found the winner after Tielemans had equalled on the hour mark, and Arsenal hold on for a 2-1 victory. And after the international break, we are back and we have now a home tie up against Wolves. Now, Wolves, from the memory, they started the season pretty poorly, but years gone by, they've done pretty well. Let's have a look and see where they are. Yes, they're still struggling quite a lot. Only 1 win from their opening 8 games. So with that in mind, I would very much expect us to get ourselves another 3 points here at the Emirates. You see last time out they were victorious over Stoke, but this time we reversed the score, a 3-0 win. Ceballos and Kimpembe score. Aubameyang comes off the bench and finds the 3rd as well. So comprehensive result there for Arsenal once again. So here we are now at match day 3 in the Champions League, and it's our toughest challenge yet as we go away to Ajax. You can see there that they did win their game against Dinamo Zagreb as you would expect, and therefore they are on 4 points. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-way battle here potentially between us and Ajax for top spot, and we can really put ourselves in a good position with a result here. And what are we going to do? Are we going to get a result? Oh, do we? We win 4-0. Brandt, Jovic and Pepe, the front 3, all combined for a total of 4 goals against what is actually a very good Ajax side, and that puts us in excellent position to progress from the group stage. Match day 10 now in the Premier League, and we have an away tie against Fulham. And we can see here Fulham are not doing too well. They haven't had a great start to the season. Obviously did well to stay up last year, but with 2 wins, 1 draw and 6 losses. Definitely a match I would be expecting us to win. You can see there we are top of the table, 2 points clear of both Liverpool and Spurs. So we'll simulate into this here, and hopefully we can get ourselves a result that extends that lead at the top of the table. And we do. Martinelli, Trincao and Aubameyang all on the score sheet. Jasper for them. He got 1 back to bring them within 1, but Trincao sealed it for us, and we win 3-1, another 3 points for Arsenal. And you can see here we've secured ourselves a very tough tie in the Carabao Cup this time with a match up against Liverpool. Now obviously it is a cup competition, so we are rotating the squad. We're not going with our first team. We're going to go with the second team though. The youngsters will be dropping to the bench. The experience of our squad players like Torreira, Lamar, Aubameyang will hopefully put us in a better position here against Liverpool. Be interesting to see what kind of team they put out, but can we get a result? We can, but only just. We get through once again on penalties, drawing 0-0 after Fabinho missed a penalty in normal time. And I think that's the same as against Palace in the second round. We drew with them missing a penalty in normal time, and we go through on penalties 4-3. It doesn't matter how you do it in the cup competition, it's all about progressing. Okay, so here we go. A really big tie here at the top of the table now, and it is Arsenal against Manchester United. United are a few points further back on 23 after 10 games, but obviously A win against us here would bring them to within 2 points. And we are behind, we're down in 4th at the moment, behind City, Spurs and Liverpool, but all of them have played a game more, and therefore we can return to the top of the table here with a win. It definitely won't be easy against a strong United side. You can already see how tight it's going to be at the top of the table this season. We want to make sure we get a win, not only to keep pace, but also just to give a little bit of a gap between us and United. We're going to be going with our strongest team as always. There it is there. Leno, Tierney, Saliba, Kimpembe, Bellerin, Neves, Tobias, Saka, Brandt, Pepe and Jovic'S up top, who's now got to an 88 overall, and we will see if we can get ourselves another 3 points. Okay, so here's the United team we're going to be going up against, and you can see they haven't really made much additions since year number 1. David De Gea is still there in goal. They have got a new signing at left back in Fernandes, Harry Maguire and Gabriel Paulista in the centre defence. Wan-Bissaka continues at right back. In midfield, they've got Rashford, Fred, Fernandes, James and McTominay. And up top, they've got Anthony Martial. So like I said, only 2 new signings in there from day number 1, but not a bad team. I think our team's much better though, so let's go and get ourselves a result in front of the Arsenal faithful. Oh, Tierney. What legs he's got there. Brandt into Pepe. Oh, and it's wide. Tierney now, he's won it high up the pitch. Can he find Jovic'S in the middle? He can! Oh, and he's fluffed the lines. How has he not finished from there? What a golden opportunity for Jovic'S, and he's just completely sliced it. Here come United now with James on Fernandes in some space. And that was always going to happen. I tried to get across to him, but I couldn't, and he's flashed it in. United's first shot, of course. And Leno can't keep it out. It's 1-0 to United. And Jovic'S into Saka, into Brandt, into Pepe. No power in the shot though. Easy for De Gea. Here come United now with Rashford. And Kimpembe is up against Rashford. Oh, he's gone to ground too easy there. Rashford now, he's found Fernandes. Good save, Leno. Good challenge, Pepe, but it's not away. There's Martial into Fernandes. And Martial! Good save, Leno. It is all United at the moment. Arsenal need that half-time whistle. And there it is. There is the half-time whistle. Arsenal go in behind at the break. And to be honest, those last 20 minutes were pretty poor. As soon as United got the goal, they were the team in the ascendancy. They could have even scored a second if it wasn't for a couple of good saves there from Leno. Arsenal with a lot of work to do in the second half. Here is Brandt. We'll go out wide to Pepe. Pepe with some space. Gone into Brandt. Can he find Jovic'S at the back post? He can! What a start to the second half from Arsenal. Pepe and Brandt linking up really well. And Jovic'S is in the right place at the right time. His second big game goal for Arsenal, and they are level inside 5 minutes of a restart. Look at this. Pepe into Brandt. Brandt dinks it across. And even Jovic'S wasn't going to miss that time. It's 1-1. Here's Pepe. He's won it back. Jovic'S to Brandt. Back to Jovic'S. Oh, De Gea gets down so well to keep it out. Such pace from Rashford. And the cross comes in. Tierney gets it away, but not very well. And James heads over. Here comes Rashford now. Kimpembe, he slides in, but he can't block it. And Rashford has beaten Leno at his near post from that angle. How has that happened? And United regain the lead with just 20 minutes to go. I can't believe Leno is being beaten at his near post from there. It's so poor. It's so poor. Look at this. I've got to challenge him, but it somehow rebounds to him. Can't be being beat from there. And Arsenal have to do something to try and get back into this. So on comes Martinelli, Lamar and Aubameyang. Going to go 2 up top. Here's Martinelli now. He's looking to run at that defence. Here's Jovic'S. He's gone out wide to Pepe. What can Pepe do from here? He's found Lamar. Shot's blocked. And here comes United on the counter now with Rashford. Oh, and he's absolutely sold Kimpembe. And Marcus Rashford is running riot over Arsenal today. And that should be it out now. They've got the 2-goal lead with only 10 minutes to go. My defending today has been awful. Look at this. Just dive straight in. Even though we got back. Neves, Lamar, Pepe, Aubameyang. He'll have a go. But it's just wide. Here is Aubameyang. He's looking for Jovic'S. What a ball that is! And Maguire just gets in at the vital moment. Into Neves. Into Jovic'S. Into Lamar again. What can he do? Step it up for Aubameyang. Here we go. It's 3-2. Just a minute or two to go. Can they get the third? It's just not enough time to get the ball back. And unfortunately, we fall to that defeat. That third goal was a real killer. Maybe we went hard a bit too early. And Arsenal fall to their first defeat of the season at the hands of United. And that keeps things really interesting at the top of the table. Okay, so that was a really disappointing result, and I don't want to end the video like that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into this next game here against Ajax and see if we can at least end the video with a win. Obviously, we are 3 wins out of 3 at the moment after that last victory over Ajax, and almost certain to qualify for the next round. I think we need one more point to be certain. So jump into this game here against Ajax. Okay, so this team we're going to go over against Ajax. It's going to rotate a few things, make sure we keep it fresh, keep everyone happy. So we're going to go with Leno in goal, Gaia, Saliba, Kimpembe, Klosterman at the back, Varela and Torreira in the middle of the park, Lamar, Brandt and Trincao behind Martinelli. We're going to give him a chance up top, see how he gets on. And we do get the win, but the goals don't come from where you would expect. All 3 goals from defenders. Kimpembe with a brace and Gaia with the third. So maybe we were obviously deadly from set pieces in this game. Doesn't really matter how we score. It's all about getting the results, and we should now almost certainly be through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Okay, so there we go. I think that's a good time to leave the video there now. We've obviously got a good bit into our Champions League campaign, almost certainly through to the knockout stages. We can obviously maybe look to rotate that a little bit if we're guaranteed first spot. We're going well in the Carabao Cup, obviously knocked out Liverpool in the last round. Premier League's going okay. Obviously disappointing to lose to United, but we are still only 1 point off the top of the table. As you can see there, we've got 9 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So even with that loss, it's still been a very good start to the season. 28 points out of a possible 33. We're right in it with all the teams you would expect there. Liverpool, Spurs, City, Arsenal, United and Chelsea. Down at the other end of the table, you can see Stoke, Sheffield United and Southampton both struggling. Sheffield United, Stoke still looking for their first win of the season. So next video, obviously, we'll be getting through the rest of 2021 with November and December. So make sure you come back and check that out. If you have enjoyed this video and you are enjoying this series, please consider subscribing to the channel, clicking that alert button so you get notified when the next video comes up. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. That does really help me and I appreciate it. But for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you all next time.